We welcome you again to the podcast To Be and Do. And our guest is Dr. Charlie Nelms. Charlie's a remarkable friend of mine, educator, a philanthropist, and in line with the title of this podcast, we're going to talk not just about being, but doing, and want to talk some about what individuals can do to help make the world a better place. And I've been trying to come up with some of those things, Charlie, making a little list, starting
So,
with praying all the way to singing, and not just singing alone, but singing in a choir.
yeah,
And of course, writing your legislature and dancing and also marching.
sure.
So I'm wondering, what can people do to help make the world a better place?
Phil, that's a good question, and it's one I think about a lot and work toward trying to do, to, to doing what it means to be. Okay, but
Yeah,
at
there
any
you are.
yeah, so but at any rate, I think the first step is to understand history. I just believe that history is a great teacher of lessons that we need to know and understand and appreciate because we live in a society where people think that everything this has never happened before. I hear people say we've never been here before. Okay, the things have changed so dramatically. Things have not changed nearly as dramatically as some people would have us believe, especially around social um, discourse and interaction and so on and so forth. But I think the most important thing is to try to understand the contextual framework for how we got here. What happened between 100 years ago and now, or 50 years ago and now. So that's number one. Number two, I think, is to take some ownership for the solution as opposed to expecting other people to do it. And so I have two little things that I remind myself is first of all, talk is cheap. That's why so many people talk. It's just cheap. You don't have to make a commitment to do anything. You just talk. Okay. And the second thing is that we are they. Now,
Hmm.
grammatically, that doesn't make any sense, but we are they. So when people talk about all of the social ills and everything from the environment to equitable, inclusive excellence, and so on and so forth, it's always in the context of what someone else should do. And I'm convinced that the first step in making the world a better place is for me, you, I, all of us, the listeners, to assume some personal responsibility for bringing about the solution. Okay. And to do that in an authentic kind of way. We don't have to do 50 things, we don't have to do 25 things, but let's do one or two things that are within our agency, our power to do. And one is to be in contact with our authentic selves and see ourselves as part of the solution as opposed to someone who's simply regurgitating the problem over and over and over again. So taking personal responsibility. Okay.
Yeah, I I'm reminded as you're speaking. I've had a passion for helping resolve some of the homeless problems in this community, and I'll never forget coming in touch with the need to do a few weeks ago when I went to help set up the winter shelter so people could have a place to sleep, and that was hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Leaning down and putting sheets on all those mats for an old man. I
Yeah.
felt it afterward, but I
Yeah.
came away aware that I could do something more. And so I ended up doing some writing and making phone calls and of course making some gifts. But I think you're absolutely right. And I'm also struck, my friend Parker Palmer says, we act our way into new ways of thinking
Mm-hmm.
more often than we think our way into new ways of acting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No question about it. And I know, I mean, it's hard, it's difficult, but whoever said that I mean, when has anything ever been easy? Not for me at least. Okay, in my work, whether it be work for which I've been remunerated physically, financially, or the satisfaction that comes from doing the work. Okay, um, uh, so you keep on keeping it. In other words, if you invest some of yourself, it's a little easier to give money. But when you step out of the that little comfort zone and interact with that person who's unhoused, okay, or that hungry person, I think it has a way of touching our souls in a different kind of way. Okay, first of all, for me, it makes me more appreciative. Okay, and it makes me just a little less grumpy and complaint oriented.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
because I become more appreciative of the opportunities that I have. And I realize that the little things that I deal with are pretty minor compared to someone who's sleeping, outside in the wintertime,
Yeah.
okay, or if it's
Yeah.
raining. But well, um, so if I don't plant the tree, who will? If I don't water the plants, who will? Okay. If I don't spend some time with a young person, who will?
So the line that comes to mind is the best time to plant a tree was 50 years ago.
Years ago. Yeah. Yes.
The second best time is right now.
Is right now. Yeah. The best time to start is now. Yeah.
So I this leads me to know that I want to talk with you another time about agriculture and root systems.
Sure.
And you, most people wouldn't know that you've got a little bit of experience and expertise about this. So let's plan on
Okay.
doing that another time.
Well, I look forward to it. I have a degree in agronomy, and
Wow.
so a lot of kids don't even know what agronomy is. But I have a degree in agronomy, and I grew up on a farm as well. And so I look forward to that conversation. I look forward to
Great.
conversation as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Charlie Nelms, for helping us think about the importance of acting right now.
Yes.
And Charlie, one of the things we sometimes do is ask people if they have a heartwarming experience or a heartburn that they would like to share. Do you have anything like that?
Oh yeah, Phil. I have a heartfelt, heartwarming kind of thing. Okay, there's too much other stuff, so I won't even deal with that. But the heartwarming one for me is that 2 weeks ago, I had the good fortune of being at Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, the institution from which Langston Hughes and Thurgood Marshall both graduated, Cap
Right.
Calloway, of other people. And I had an opportunity to be there for the announcement of a gift from the Lilly Endowment to Thurgood Marshall College Fund.
Wow.
Okay. And it was in the same room where Thurgood Marshall and his debate team prepared to debate predominantly white teams around the country and to win. Okay.
Wow.
And it was at the time when a number of executive orders were being signed that would undo some understanding and appreciation for that history. And for that moment that I was in that library where Thurgood Marshall once walked and studied and all of that kind of thing, it was just it was powerful. And there
Wow.
was a student there who spoke, who accepted the gift, and so on and so forth. One of the acceptance speakers, and it's just powerful, impactful. Yeah,
You
and
know, we are lucky to get to see the world in larger frames, and I'm lucky to have you as my friend to help me see horizons further than I. So thank you, Dr. Charlie Nelms, for being with
thank,
us.
thank you for having me, Phil. Thank you very much. Thank you.